What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Smitty here, and in this video, guys, wanted to give my thoughts, and I spoke about it on Sim Standard Hangout, with myself and SimFBallCritic the other day. But I wanted to give my thoughts though overall in terms of the Mygm, Myleague details. I mean, I'll definitely have the link in the description, going in depth about it. But just in case if you guys already have read it, I'm just gonna gloss over a few highlights here that are the biggest takeaways for me. Number one, this is a big point that I make right here in terms of the progression of these modes. The Myleague mode, 2K18, how they started out on next gen, and how they introduced the team relocation and the league expansion. Now this is the key thing about this. A decent number of these features and elements that are in these modes started back on Gen 3. So this has been a progressive, continuous build-up that's been going on for a number of years. You know what I'm saying? So that's one key thing to definitely take away from this. Is that, like I said, this isn't something that just happened over 3-4 years time and that's it. These modes in particular are, but facets and everything that have been included, like player responses and interviews and stuff like that, these are all things that were a part of the association back in previous 2Ks on 360 and PS3 era. So it's nice to see the consistency of progressive development just continue to go upward and upward, expand those horizons and keep building up. So going through here, let's see. Now I'm more about Myleague than anything. I haven't really jumped into the Mygm at all, but that's something that I think I should get into. That's something that I might get into, and I'll expand on the might part in a moment. Now look, these are the key things here that really draw me in, because I love the off-season activity in 2K. All the depth that they have in Immersion, it's crazy. So I love what they do in that regard. Because look here, 2017, the collective bargaining agreement, like they have all these new things that they have are, that recently happened in the NBA. They have it all in the game. And see, this to me speaks to all the work that they've done over the years with working with the player salaries and contracts and different conditional kind of things, with player contract structures that they've been working on over the years, developing that out in other titles. So it's like the more progressive development you see in that area, this is how you get to all these things. Minimum salaries. They, players will have new maximum salaries calculated using the actual NBA salary cap. Players with bird rights. Remember they introduced that back on Gen 3, the bird rights thing, when it came to who was it? Devin George. And that was a big thing in the NBA, that they were making noise about, a little bit of noise about back then. And they introduced that into the game, prior to Gen 4. And minimum annual salary, rookie scale contracts, like they have everything all set up here. The Supermax contracts, you have that in here as well. Roster minimums, look at this. All these different things, the rule changes, all of this. This is crazy. You know what I mean? And see, I like that they brought back the G League, or basically, because they had the D League, and I think it was 2K10 where you could actually play it. But this, you don't play the games, but I at least like the fact that you can send players down and things like that so that they can develop. What I really love, these are the big things right here. International draft, prospect stashing, and the free agent moratorium. Every year, especially when it's a big year, like this year, for example, all of the movement that's been going on in the off season. Now, this is prior to the free agency popping off, but this is the bottom line is, the buzz of so-and-so's gonna go here, this player's gonna go there, like all these deals that are basically getting figured out, worked out. You just don't hear the full detail until free agency fully pops off. But this is the stuff right here that I'm talking about, man. The immersion, and this is the nook and cranny details that just give you just that much more immersion and gets you entrenched in the game, like fully involved in the game. And I love that. The draft prospect, this is a Popovich move all day. This is what this guy does. The draft prospecting, the stashing. You know, he picks a guy, oh, we're a decent team, we're good, we're gonna stash him away, maybe bring him to the squad in 2-3 years time, and then all of a sudden he coaches them up and they're legit, you know, a legitimate component for their team, for the Spurs. So it's awesome to see they brought that stuff into the game. And even the analytics tool is nice. This is nice in principle, okay? Like, you can plot players based on raw stats, per game stats, 36 minutes or 100 possessions. And then you can look at, you know, based off of games, season stats, career stats. So this is a nice tool to be able to look at and see what's going on as far as players, okay? I like that. And then even this as well, trading draft rights, you know, cap holds, all these details. Like, it's so much that they have here. The customization, especially when it comes to adding created players during your Myleague, so you don't have to start over again. You know, like if a big trade happens, you just got to start over and then simulate it to the point where you last were or what have you. You don't even have to do that. You can just straight up just add the players or make the moves necessary as the season goes on. So I love that. That's huge. Now, and yes, this is a nice thing. See, this is a nice thing as well. This player accessory frequency here. How players we see over the course of the year, they'll switch up and wear certain shoes, certain armbands, sleeves, headbands. They may wear a certain style or whatever. You know, they change up their style over the course of the year for some guys. It's nice to be able to see that now they have that frequency in there and they change that stuff up. So this, like I said, this is the additional immersion and depth that's necessary, that just gives us the end user so much really to entrench ourselves in within both of these modes, MyGM, Myleague respectively. Now I know people really are looking forward to my career stuff because that's basically your park players, your pro-am guys, all that stuff. So I think that's like the biggest thing people are looking forward to as far as 2K fans as a whole. But this is a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? This is a big deal to me. Now, the one thing I will say, and to end this with, I know he took the shot and everything at other franchises. Hey, look, I give it to 2K. I give it to 2K because their franchises, like, I'll read this verbatim. It says, the closing thoughts right here. It says, I shouldn't be at this point, but I'm continually surprised at how little support other sports games give their franchise modes. I vowed a long time ago never let the NBA 2K franchise regress to that mean. Definitely big time shots fired there. You know what I mean? So that goes to Madden, especially to Madden on that one, because their franchise mode is lacking big time in comparison to this. Like I said, everything Deuce Douglas put out with his mock-up, that needs to be Madden CFM all day long. So flat out. But to close this video out, all of this stuff is outstanding work. But if the gameplay is not consistent, and if the gameplay caliber has all the issues like I spoke about, poor rotational defense, poor AI logic when it comes to your teammates and things like that, how they act and how they react to things happening on the court, closing out on jump shots, standing around and you know, having just a lot of the bad AI nuances that you see happen in the game. If you have all of that going on, that negates this analytics tool. How come his stats are the way they are? Well, I could tell you about these gameplay things that happen in game when you play that don't make any sense to how this player responds on the floor in real life, but yet look how they have him responding in the game, and they have him responding in ways that just don't add up. And that's my whole thing. You can have all this. If this game was text to sim only, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, like out of the park baseball. This would be immaculate, but because we got to actually play it, you got to do, like, the gameplay has got to come full circle. I'm sorry, Gen 3 2K was, I mean, they honestly had it. They had it. And I understand going to next gen, it's a, you know, you experience your bumps, your bruises, your shortcomings, all that good stuff. But it has to be better. It has to be better, flat out. 2K17, 12 patches and all that stuff. Look, your core gameplay has to work, and it has to be legitimately functional, and with functional AI. And like I said before, it's about core gameplay consistency and innovative efficiency. How did you innovate your gameplay, and how consistent is it going to honestly be once the game ships, once us the consumers are able to get our hands on it? And that's the bottom line, because if the gameplay is on point, all of this is beautiful. It goes hand in hand though, because I still got to play the game. Now, some people don't give a care about playing only maybe 1 or 2 games, and they just will sim. They'll just sim it all. That's fine for those people, but us that want to play it, I want to experience it. I want to play and really be immersed in what I'm playing. And that's the bottom line. So that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna end the video here. Get active in the comment section. Whether you agree, opposing viewpoints are always welcome. And you know, hit that like button. Definitely hit that subscribe button as well for more content. Definitely got a lot more coming, especially we're about to get into this sports gaming season with Madden, Live, 2K, all these things, all these great games, FIFA, PES, NHL. So, you know, stay tuned, y'all. A lot of stuff forthcoming on the horizon. All right, you guys, y'all take care, be safe, God bless, peace.